Shalom, family. Shalom. Hey, listen, I just want to talk to you guys about something really quick. So every time people ask me, so how do you believe people get saved? And I tell them, I said, well, listen, the Most High God, He never changes. Contrary to what most Christians today believe, that somehow the plan of God failed in the Old Testament, as they call it. It failed, and that Jesus had to come and reestablish something new, a new covenant. But that's not entirely true. The fact remains and the truth remains that God is immutable. He doesn't change. So in regards to salvation, salvation isn't a one-time thing. It's not in the Hebrew mindset or Hebrew concept. There's not a one-time experience or a one-time equation you have to do in order to be saved. That's not Hebrew. Now that may be Christian, Greco-Roman, but that does not line up with the front of the book, the Old Testament as you call it, or for that fact, the Father's Word. It just doesn't. So if you want to continue down the road of Paul Apostle's doctrine found in 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and other places where he says that the gospel of Jesus Christ is the death, burial, and resurrection, that's fine. You can believe that. You can continue down that road and accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior and be saved one time experience, and you'll never lose your salvation. But the fact remains that that's not biblical. It really isn't. It contradicts and flies against the Father's Word. The fact remains that for the Hebrew, the fact that salvation is a process. It's a journey. It's a lifelong journey, commitment, and it's a relationship. For the person who understands this, there's no fear involved of losing your salvation or ever even thinking you can lose it. Because if you're in a loving relationship, a faithful relationship with your Creator, the thought never even crosses your mind. It never does. You know He is faithful. And yet we fall short, but He is merciful, kind, and very forgiving. Why? Because He sees your heart. He sees your motives and intentions. And you cannot deceive the Most High. And that right there says everything. You may be able to fool your fellow brothers and sisters and other people, but you will never mock or fool the Creator of all things, for He discerns the thoughts and intentions of the heart and mind. And so, a salvation as a one-time thing does not exist in the true biblical foundational word found in the beginning. So, my thought and my final conclusion is that salvation is a lifelong journey, a relationship, a commitment, and fidelity. And I don't worry about it. Neither should anyone else. I don't go around ever even thinking about it, whether or not I'm saved or I can lose my salvation. The thought never crosses my mind. And I know that people who think the way I do can concur with me and agree. So this idea that Paul, the Apostle Paul, brings forth as the gospel, you can continue down that road. Believe whatever you want. But I've said it many times before. Paul the Apostle was rebuked. When you looked at the writings, the original writings, the oldest known writings will tell you that Paul the Apostle was rebuked and often told to just leave us alone or don't try and tamper with the gospel. Don't add or remove to it. I mean, he was a pariah, to be honest with you. And this idea that he was the apostle of God and all this, that's really highly suspect. It really is. It's just so much. I would be here all day trying to bring out the evidence, and that's for another time. But if you want to continue to be a Christian and follow down that road, hey, by all means, that road is wide, spacious, and very many people travel on that road to nowhere. So I hope this short, word blessed you. And if you don't believe me, I challenge you. Go ahead and Do the research for yourself. Hey, I don't have all the answers, but what I do know is that the things that you believe, they're not true. They're not true. With that, I say shalom. Peace.